Well, Jesse, describe to us the challenge of playing, a top 5 team in Ole Miss, and what kind of things are they going to do that you kind of want to slow down?
Yeah, tempo is tough. So when they go fast, that just is a challenging thing for a defense in general. Obviously, their talent, they got some good skill. We've also faced some really good skill this year as well. So we're excited for that challenge. Quarterback is multiple. A similar sort of threat that we saw earlier in the year versus Washington. And they got a talented skill group between running backs, tight ends, and receivers. So it's definitely a challenge. We're going to be who we are on defense and do what we do, and we got to create turnovers and create stops and be able to get off the field and get it back to our offense, which we feel good about.
Yeah, you mentioned the quarterback chain blast. I mean, he's obviously a dual threat, like you said. You guys have faced guys like him before, with the Apple Cup and whatnot. What have you learned from facing guys like that might help you guys, this time around facing Chambliss?
For sure. You got to be ready in all situations of the game to stop the dual threat that he is. You got to have awareness within your coverages and have things to be able to stop that. It's not reality to have those on every single play. So the D-line's got to be great in their swarm. The back end's got to be great and continue to do their job. And if he scrambles, have great swarm there. But he's a talented quarterback. His story is cool. Happy for him as the person he is, and look forward to attacking him in terms of on defense and trying to win those battles.
Coach Rogers on Monday mentioned something about how when you guys were at SDSU, you scouted him a little bit when he was at Ferris State because he was like a common opponent with like Montana or something like that. What do you remember about that, and is that still useful these days?
Yeah, I don't know if that's too useful for us, but at the end of the day, it's a similar ability. Obviously, it's his ability. He's gotten better and applying it to his new scheme.
Have you seen Parker kind of adapt to this defense and really excel early on?
Yeah. Parker's been great. You're talking about Parker McKenna, I'm assuming, right? I don't know if they had a Parker on their team. But, Parker's been great. I think since day one when we got here, he's bought into the scheme. I think it fits him in the position that he is to be able to play fast and be physical and go make plays. And so he's playing great. He's playing hard. Doesn't mean he's not making mistakes, but he's really bought into doing his job and executing what we need him to execute, and then also giving great effort and always getting to the ball and trying to finish with violent finishes.
With Max being out for an extended period of time, Coach Rogers talked about just the on-field communication that he provided and how that might be, the need to replicate that. How have other members along the defensive line kind of filled that gap, and have they made any progress? And how do you kind of work with that, replacing that on-field communication?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's a big loss to have him out for an extended period of time. And at the end of the day, we have really good depth at D-line. Yes, does that nick someone out of the D-line depth? Yes, but guys who have been doing it will continue to step up. We saw our last opponent versus Colorado State, Sony step up there and have a couple sacks in a row and play a really good game. We're going to have some young bucks stepping up and Donovan Fitzmaurice stepping into some roles. And at the end of the day, other guys might just have to take a few more snaps, right? Maybe they were getting 15 to 20, now they're getting 20 or to 25, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, some guys will step up, but other guys have to be able to play some more snaps, and we feel confident in them doing that.
When it came to building the depth along this defensive line, there's obviously a lot of transfer portal infusion, especially in that position group. What qualities were you looking for in guys that you brought in?
Yeah, I think, a big thing for us is being able to fit into what we do on defense in terms of what we ask them to do in the run game, and being able to be violent and heavy-handed and play through tackles and guards. And you got to be able to be willing to throw it in there and be physical in the run game and sacrifice yourself a little bit at times. But at the same time, trying to change some things and get some elite pass rushers. And we felt like between guys that were here and bringing in some transfers, we were able to do that in a handful of the guys that you've been able to see this year execute. And so feel really good about the D-line and where we're at. Got to continue to try and stay healthy. And they've been a strong focal point of our defense, and we got to keep it going that way. And so take pride in what they've done.
Ole Miss is obviously a super unique atmosphere, maybe it's a super hectic atmosphere. You've played and coached in environments maybe similar to that. What kind of experiences have you had in the past that maybe prepare you, maybe just a little bit, and what are you expecting to see on Saturday from that environment?
Yeah, maybe played in a couple myself, I've coached in a few, and I think at the end of the day, you should thrive in those environments. right? At the end of the day, it should bring you energy. You get to play not only the best game in the sport or best sport in the game of football, but you get to do it in an environment where 60-something thousand are looking at you, and hopefully we can silence the crowd by making plays, and that's kind of the fun part of it, is going to try and do that as we live up to our standard on defense week by week and go get the dub.